welcome to the Pack Basketball Show here at ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse. Yeah, go ahead and give us a hand there. Well, Tyler, it was an interesting weekend for the Thunderwolves starting on Thursday. The women lost a tough one to Colorado Mines, but what a ball game.
Yeah, it was a really tough one for Coach Johnson and his squad, but I thought they showed great resilience on Saturday, able to bounce back. I think Thursday's game proved they can play with anybody in the league. One of their better offensive performances on Thursday, and they backed it up on Saturday with another good offensive performance.
Yeah, I went through the game on Thursday, and it was just a series of bad things that happened against them that could have had a couple shots go in to start the fourth quarter if they had gone in. They hit a couple of miracle threes, and it just kind of got away from them at the end there. But you mentioned coming back on Saturday, the women, great effort to win that game in overtime. Regis played their game of the year.
Yeah, that was a game that Thunderwolves couldn't afford to drop on Saturday. You got to beat a team like Regis, and they were hungry. I was talking with TJ and some of the girls. You know, they were Regis played their best game of the year, like you said. But give them some credit. They came in to Missouri Arena. Kate Gallery, a Pueblo native, excited to play in front of her home crowd. Really played well, and Thunderwolves showed a lot of resilience. That was probably their best offensive performance of the year, able to get to 82 points. And
winning it in overtime for the men. Broke a long drought. Our long national nightmare is over. Finally beat Mines first time since 2018. I think it was 11 in a row, 13 of the last 14. But Coach Rubisam and the team, what a job, what a victory.
Well, they're a gritty group. I believe they held Mines to just 54 points. You do that, you're going to win a lot of ball games in this league. They're an outstanding defensive unit, and Coach Rubisam was bragging on his guys. You know, Jaden Kennis, who's here tonight, Jordan Blair, the two best offensive weapons, getting down and dirty, diving for loose balls there at the end of the game. When you got your two big offensive weapons that'll do that for you on the defensive end, you're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, that was an incredible play late when Jaden and Blair both end up diving on the court, saving it and getting it. Plus also Real had a episode where he dived on the floor, batted the ball ahead, and they got a breakout layup as well.
Yeah, he did. I mean, Bryce shot the ball really well. He hit a couple clutch buckets in that game. He was getting on the floor for loose balls, and that's just the culture I think Coach Rubisam's really implemented here in Pueblo, that it doesn't matter 1 through 12 if you're a starter, if you're coming off the bench, if you're the leading scorer, you're going to do the little things to win games.
And then on Saturday, the men taking on Regis, they got on top of them early, really did a great job kind of putting the game away early. It felt like it was put away, and then Regis made a run at him in the second half before the Thunderwolves put them away again.
Oh, that could have been a game where the guys maybe watched the girls and made it got them a little nervous, but they came out guns blazing. They shot the ball well there in the first half, and then they followed it up with an even better second half. 38 points, I believe, is what they ended up with in the second half. And Coach Rube had to use a couple early timeouts there in the second half to wake his guys up out of the halftime break. But it's just another really good performance. I think the second half of the men's game against Mines, they really started to get their rhythm on the offensive end, and that carried over into Saturday's game.
Well, and they met their goals. They're holding teams under 60 points. They do that, they're going to win basketball games, and hold them under 40%. That's the keys.
Well, that's what Coach Johnson says a lot. You hold men or women teams under 60, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And the fact they did that against Mines on Thursday and then turned around and did it against Regis back-to-back games, that can't be easy just 2 days later, because you know those guys were tired after putting in all that effort on Thursday. They turned around and held Regis under 60 as well.
Well, it was an interesting weekend in the RMAC as well. On the women's side on Thursday, the game of the night was the CSU Pueblo game against Mines. You go back to Saturday, Black Hills State and Fort Lewis. That was the big-time matchup, and, Black Hills State still looking good on the women's side.
Yeah, they are there, and that's a tough place to play. I think any team that's got to go to Spearfish, that's just a tough gym to play in, men or women, and they're playing well. And it's, I think, another really good top-heavy league in the RMAC. You got 5 or 6 teams. I know Mesa's 8-0, and they're playing well, but, man, you've got 5 or 6 teams that are making a lot of noise on the women's side.
And then on the men's side, the game of the night was Fort Lewis and Black Hills State. In Black Hills State with a double-digit lead till about 5 minutes to go in the game. Fort Lewis came back and actually won it at the buzzer.
Well, I think Fort Lewis is probably thinking the league's disrespected them a little bit.
I mean, exactly.
Black Hills, the heavy favorite coming into the year, and they played well all year, but Fort Lewis is giving them a little troubles. They haven't lost yet in conference. They're 8-0, and now Black Hills has dropped a couple games. Fort Lewis is like, hey, don't forget about us over here. We can still play. Still think it's probably maybe a little hot take. It's probably still Black Hills' league right now, but you got CSU Pueblo right there, 6-2, who's going to give Black Hills a lot of fits. You got Fort Lewis, who's 8-0. So you got a couple teams right there that say, hey, hold on a minute. We're right there too.
When you come back and join me in our final segment, we'll take a look at the standings going into this weekend. But first things first, we come back after this timeout. We'll talk to the head coach, Tommy Johnson, and Dasani Nesbitt. That all comes your way next. This is the Pack Basketball Show.
Hello, Thunderwolves fans. Jim Brooks here, your voice of the Thunderwolves, reminding you that tonight's edition of the Pack Basketball Show is brought to you by The Howler and the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle, courtesy of B-Fish Inc., also known as Tim Simmons, the resident historian of Pack Athletics. It is real simple. Visit bficcc.com to access the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle homepage. From there, click on the Click Here button to sign up for The Howler. Each week, you will receive in your email box a new edition with articles and links to keep you up to date on all things Pack Athletics. Join the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle and sign up for The Howler today.
At ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse, we're all about great food, cold beer, and unbeatable game day vibes. Located near CSU Pueblo, we're the go-to spot for students, locals, and sports fans looking for a place to kick back, enjoy delicious handcrafted pizzas, and catch the big game. Every dish is made with fresh ingredients and bold flavors, from our signature pizzas and juicy burgers to our wide selection of ice-cold beers on tap. Whether you're celebrating with friends, grabbing a bite after class, or fueling up before the game, it's where the action happens. Come for the food, stay for the atmosphere. ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse.
And welcome back to the Pack Basketball Show. Here at ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse, we thank them for hosting us each and every week here on the Pack Basketball Show. Tommy Johnson to my left, Dasani Nesbitt to my right. Tommy, let's talk to you first here. I know it was a hard luck loss on Thursday against Colorado Mines, but this weekend I think we saw your ball club offensively show us what you're really capable of.
I'm glad you said it that way. Definitely saw some growth, but again, we're in such a tough league that, those are the kind of games, you've seen that keep you from hosting or even getting in the playoffs. So
right. I
thought on Thursday our girls came out, they executed the game plan for 3.5 quarters and played their tails off. And, don't know if we got lackadaisical, don't know if they just got hot or just bad coaching on my part, but I thought we let a pretty big one slip away.
Well, late in the third quarter, I just got through watching it, Tommy, because I was doing the highlights, and it was, he could have had a breakout there at the end of the third, didn't get that. Start of the fourth quarter, had a couple of shots right at the cup, didn't go in. They hit a couple desperation threes. I mean, it just kind of got away from him. Still at that, had a chance late to get the game tied.
Absolutely. We were right where we wanted to be. It's going to be nice like that, where the other team makes a run or they figure some things out. And, we got the stop we wanted at one time, and they tied winner up. It was a pretty quick tie up down there, I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they end up hitting a three, but we came back and we got a shot that we looked from a shot we wanted from a really good shooter, and it just didn't go down. But, again, this group doesn't quit. Our problem right now is we got to learn to finish people.
Well, let's welcome Dasani Nesbitt to the show. Dasani, welcome. Nice to meet you here on the show.
Thank you.
I thought you played your best basketball of the year this weekend.
I appreciate it.
And I thought defensively you were getting after it. Plus, we all know you're kind of a pass-first type of player. You like to unload the ball instead of shooting the ball, much to my frustration at times. Yep. I'd like to see you shoot a little bit more. But just talk about your game right now.
I mean, all credit to my teammates. They trust me to shoot it. I love to pass, so that's my go-to. But, yeah, really just bringing energy, communication, and, yeah.
Well, your junior college days, were you known as that too? Were you always just a pass-first type person, very unselfish?
Yeah.
What are we going to do to get you to shoot more?
Just got to
play like
it.
You did this week and watch the tape. You're getting to the basket. I thought that's what you can do.
Yeah.
You have the size, but you have a good first step, able to get by people, and I think that's probably the key to your game is getting to the cup.
Yes, sir. I agree.
And then passing the ball off, you seem to be able to find people in the lane. That's what you like. You like to penetrate and then dish.
Exactly that, yep.
What were your thoughts about the game on Thursday? Was it kind of a heartbreaker after? Did you lose any sleep after that one?
It was. After watching film, we know what we need to execute better, and we're excited for this Thursday.
All right, Tommy, let's go now to Saturday. A little bit better news, although it took a while. I mean, Regis, we kind of warned everybody in our pregame talk and even off mic when we were talking about it. Regis has been getting better as the season's gone along, and I look at their lineup. There's 3 players on their lineup that could play for anybody, and maybe depth is their problem, but their 3 stars really performed well in that game.
They did. They came out with something to prove, and like you said, they're getting better and improving. And I think, that's one of those type of teams. The more the season goes on, they're not going to have anything to lose, so they can come out, let it all hang out. I mean, we witnessed that with some of the shots. They were making shots all over the place. The bank was open.
Yes, exactly. When you're banking them in from three, Tommy, it's your night.
Yeah, so they did come in, but I also thought it was a character builder for our girls. Again, could have let our heads hang and our shoulders shrug, and maybe let one get away, and turn a okay weekend to bad. But again, this group got no quit. They kept fighting, and they found a way to get it done.
Well, then you had this kind of magical night from the Aussie. It was Aussie, 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 oi, 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 all night long. I mean, she was filling it up early and often. That was quite a sight to see.
I tell you, you and I have talked about Ruby. She's a fan favorite. She's also a coach's favorite.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah, she's one of those kids. I don't know if we've had anybody here work harder than her. We've had hard workers, but she's on par with anybody we've had in terms of her preparation, her ability to be coached, her willingness to play anywhere that we need her to play. And she had a career night. And, again, she's our sixth starter for real. She could start at anywhere. So.
Well, and she actually took over the game on Thursday against Mines. People forget she scored 11 of the 13 points or 15 points, whatever it was there in the fourth quarter against Mines, keeping you in the game late.
Absolutely. Fearless. She was fearless, and it wasn't just threes on Thursday night. Got to the basket, finished, got to the free throw line. I think in conference play, she's leading the RMAC in free throw shooting. I think she's up around 89, 90%. So put the ball in her hands, and she was able to deliver.
Well, Dasani, what were your thoughts about the game on Saturday? I mean, that had to be thrilling to play that game going to overtime. I guess if you threw out the standings and didn't know what was going on, you just knew it was a fantastic college basketball game.
I mean, you said it. Our girl Ruby, she was on one. I mean, her motor nonstop. So all credit to her.
Has she taught you some Australian slang? Or have you learning anything?
Just a little bit.
Like a chook? It's chicken, right? Okay, we got that. Dim Sims. She hasn't introduced you to dim sims yet? A little chicken. It's kind of a cool little egg roll, kind of a funky thing. I think the key to a dim sim is take all the waste product, jam it into an egg roll.
Don't sound good.
Sounds good, though, doesn't it?
I don't know.
You just fry it up. If it's fried, it's good, right?
Okay, yeah. You're right.
What's your go-to here at ThunderZone? What do you like?
I like the wings. Can't go wrong with the
Which
wings.
ones? Which ones you going to go
barbecue,
to? Barbecue, okay. Have you tried the hot honey?
Ooh, that's a good one, too.
There you go. Exactly, the hot honey. Well, Tommy, going into this weekend, we got a couple of tough ball games, a couple of tough assignments. Go on the road, take on Adams State on Thursday, and the New Mexico Highlands on Saturday. We'll start with Adams State. I mean, this is one of the teams probably picked maybe to challenge Mesa in the standings, although Mesa waxed them in their one loss this year, but can't take anything away from that. But they're a tough unit.
Tough unit, tough to prepare for. They play, again, another team that plays a different style. They're going to put four guards out there. They're going to shoot it from all over. They're probably one of the few teams in the RMAC. I think they'll rival us in transition. They really get out, push the pace. They got a proven scorer and Kiani Anatulu, who had, 50, 52, 54 last year at one time. Got a really good post player in TTs, and so they do present some challenges, but I think we match up well in certain spots, so excited to get out there.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that 50-feet piece she put together. That was an incredible game she played. And then you guys have a little, maybe a little score to settle with them in the matchup last year. Thought you had a chance to get them, but they able to pull away late. But I thought you guys were right with them. Yeah,
again, we no excuses. We beat them here, and we go up there. I didn't think we were completely healthy, missing our point guard that game, and so they definitely took advantage of that in certain situations. But, again, it's the RMAC, and I think right now, on any given night, you look at the scores across the board, I don't know who's besides Mesa. It's hard to tell who's who sometimes. So we're just hoping to go up there and have a packed basketball night.
Well, Dasani, on your self-scout, you've been watching. What are you looking for from Adams? What do you look to exploit, or what do you have to shut down from them?
I think our defense is going to be key for this game. Our scouting report, making sure we execute, I mean, that's going to be the main thing we need to focus on this week.
Always comes down to defense, doesn't it? For your ball club, defense kind of ignites the offense, doesn't it?
For sure. Yep.
If the defense isn't working, then the offense tends to struggle.
Exactly, yep.
All right, Tommy, we're going to go to look at Saturday night's game against New Mexico Highlands. They've moved these games up. You're going to be almost a breakfast at Las Vegas. You're going to start at noon. I don't know what my opinion of that is, but we'll find out. But you take on a Highlands Ball Club. They've also been kind of surprising this year, surprisingly very good.
Well, yeah, it'll be the brunch showdown. It'll be around brunch time. So they're another team, guard heavy. But, again, I really believe we've got 4 or 5 guards that can match up defensively. It's a matter of can we contain them, on offense and coming on short rest. And I think we'll have the ability to get the ball inside. And I think that one thing we'll be able to do is play through Dasani a little bit in terms of executing and getting girls involved and setting some screens and pick and pop. And so looking forward to that matchup as well. And, it'll come down to, for us, if we make layups and free throws and play defense and rebound, I think we'll be okay.
Okay, so Dasani, when you were being recruited to CSU Pueblo and they were telling you, hey, we get to go to Vegas a couple times in your career, were you excited?
Of course.
Then they told you, it's Vegas, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Not a bad place once you get there. I mean, they get rowdy in that place. You're going to be surprised when you get down there. It gets after it.
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
All right, so he's told you you're going to be picking and popping. You're going to be shooting. You're going to launch. Here's my request
All right.
for these 2 games. Tommy might go along with it. I want you to launch the first 3 that you get a look at. From the top of the key. When you get open the top of the key, launch the 3, hit it, and then look up and just go like that to me.
I got you. For you.
Just for me. It'll be for that. And then when you hit 1, you know what you do? You shoot again. That's right. That's what a shooter does, right, Tommy?
Great coaching. Coaching.
All right. Thanks a lot. That
Thank
concludes this segment here of the Pack Basketball Show. We'll come back. We'll do the men as Zach Rubisam will be joined by Jaden Kennis. That comes your way next right here from ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse on the Pack Basketball Show.
Go Pack.
Hello, Thunderwolves fans. Jim Brooks here, your voice of the Thunderwolves, reminding you that tonight's edition of the Pack Basketball Show is brought to you by The Howler and the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle, courtesy of B-Fish Inc., also known as Tim Simmons, the resident historian of Pack Athletics. It is real simple. Visit bficcc.com to access the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle homepage. From there, click on the Click Here button to sign up for The Howler. Each week, you will receive in your email box a new edition with articles and links to keep you up to date on all things Pack Athletics. Join the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle and sign up for The Howler today.
At ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse, we're all about great food, cold beer, and unbeatable game day vibes. Located near CSU Pueblo, we're the go-to spot for students, locals, and sports fans looking for a place to kick back, enjoy delicious handcrafted pizzas, and catch the big game. Every dish is made with fresh ingredients and bold flavors, from our signature pizzas and juicy burgers to our wide selection of ice-cold beers on tap. Whether you're celebrating with friends, grabbing a bite after class, or fueling up before the game, it's where the action happens. Come for the food, stay for the atmosphere. ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse.
And welcome back to the Pack Basketball Show here at ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse. Wednesday night is wing night here at, or it's actually Tuesday night. Tuesday night. I don't even know what night it is. I lose track of the schedule. Tuesday night is pizza night. We're going to have 2 for pizza?
I think so, yeah.
All right, 2-item pizza for $15. Can't beat it. Zach Rubisam, the head coach. Jaden Kennis to my right here. And what a weekend he had. We'll get to you here in a little bit. But let's start off. Zach, I've told everybody it's our long national nightmare.
Yeah.
Losing to Mines all those times in a row. I mean, they're a great outfit. And you guys pulled off a great win. And I thought fittingly you had to really earn it down the stretch.
We did. I mean, they're the cream of the crop in the RMAC. I think we said it after the game, what Coach Orser's done there for his 25 years and then, what they've done recently the last 5-10 years. They're the standard. So for us to break that streak of 8 years is a long time, 11 games is a long time, to, like you said, earn it to where it wasn't easy.
Right.
And made big plays down the stretch. I know we'll talk to Jaden, but Jaden made one of the biggest plays of the game, getting on the ground, having a dirty play, as you call it.
Dirty.
But huge win for our program. I think it was a program-building win. I think it solidifies what we've been preaching the last 6 months of defense, rebounding, competing, and I think you saw all that come to fruition.
It was kind of a crazy start. They hit a couple three-pointers right off the bat. You're probably thinking, oh, man, what's this night going to be like? Then you rip off 18 in a row.
Right.
And I even mentioned on the air, I don't know if Mines is ever going to score again. Well, for sure they scored it, and he got it back to a one-point game going into the halftime, but it just turned out. And then they got a 5-point lead in the second half. So they showed a lot of resiliency.
They did. I mean, and, that's what Colorado Mines does. Like, they have mines across their chests. They're the cream of the crop in the RMAC, so they're going to keep fighting. But, the good thing for us, once we gave up those 2 threes at the beginning just based on our coverage, they only made 4 the rest of the game. So we'll take that for the final, 38 minutes of a basketball game.
Well, and Pryor Orser, I was kind of kidding you about it too, but I would tell Pryor, I go, people keep wanting to make him retire. They say, well, when are you going to quit? When are you going to be done? And I think Pryor's saying, why is everybody trying to kick me out?
Right.
I think that's why he deliberately is starting 3 freshmen. He says, I got to see these guys through.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and I think, I talked to him before the game. He's going to be coaching those guys hard. Mines isn't going anywhere. They're going to be good. Those freshmen are going to keep getting better, and they're going to keep getting better this next month, too. So we'll have our hands full when we see them again in February.
Well, Jaden, we'll bring you in. We're out of, what did we got, Morrison? I can't remember where you're from. Erie?
Windsor, Colorado.
Windsor? I knew I'd get it right.
There you go.
Just guess somewhere up there in northern Colorado, up there where it used to be kind of a wide spot on the road. It used to be the racetrack there on the side of the road. Is it still there? The Speedway still there on the right side of I-25?
I'm not sure.
I don't think it's there, but that's what it used to be known for. And then I'm an old auto salvage guy, Erie Auto Salvage there in Erie, Colorado. But it's grown exponentially up there, and we're glad to have you here. And we've talked about it before, you and I, just last year, how much of a struggle it was. And I think a lot of times you got in the doghouse early, and it was tough to work your way out of there till the end of the year when we only had 7 guys, then we had to play you. And they couldn't. And I thought you really grew there that last 5 or 6 games of the year, and now it's carried over to this year. We're starting to find out just what you're capable on the basketball court.
Yeah, I think it's just a maturity that comes with it. Been in the RMAC for a while now, so I feel like I've seen it all, and I just kind of try to bring that and bring leadership with the crew we have. So, that's my main focus this year.
Well, I thought what was astonishing when I watched the Mines game and then a little bit of the Regis game as well. I haven't got all the way through it, just watching the replay. But I thought the key to that game was your passing ability. And there was a couple just gorgeous passes you made. And one of them I remember was the no-look pass. Yeah. We can talk about that one to Terry. When you found him underneath the basket, you're looking out here to the wing and you whipped it underneath the basket. Yeah. That was a beauty. And then a couple little bounce passes to Allen to get the dunks. Seems like, and you got more excited about that, I think, than making a shot.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things to do on the court is, find an open teammate, because that's how we want to play. And I was super excited. Kyron's actually my roommate, so it felt good giving him assists on those 2 dunks. So, yeah.
Well, then I thought the key to your game is you're not afraid to get downhill. I think that's what you want to do is drive, get to the basket. If it opens up, you have a variety of different shots that you can hit. But also, when you get in there, you draw the defense to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's my job, straight line drive, shoot the ball when I'm open, try to create for my teammates. So, that's what I try to do. Well,
let's talk about the end of that game again there, Zach, against Mines, how it got down there late. And I thought one of the key plays of the game, of course, Real getting the steal when you're only up by 1 to go up by 3. But then out of the timeout, it's a 3-point game, and you're over there in the timeout. We're trying to figure out, what are the Thunder Wolves going to do? This is a key possession. And you draw up a play for the freshman to come around a curl and hit a 3.
Yeah, I mean, we had run the same play a few times over and over coming off the back screen, and just a wrinkle that we've had. Our guys know it. We've called it one other time this year, so it was a good time to call it. And, we ran it for the right guy that time. Bryce Real gets his feet set. You think it's going in every time. And huge play for us to go up 6. And then you have this dude, and I'm so proud of his growth, his maturity. He is the heart and soul of our team. For him to get on the floor and grab it, and you talk about we need him to score to be successful. He had 5 points against Mines, but he was plus 17 that game.
That's the key. The whole plus minus.
It's
amazing, isn't it?
So that was a maturity game for Jaden Kennis, but for him to get on the floor, grab that basketball, throw it to Jordan Blair, and us get a timeout, that's what sealed the win.
Well, talk about that play. What'd you see there? They're kind of fiddling with it outside. They're probably trying to get a 3, so I think you're overplaying them a little bit. Yeah. But he's got in the passing lane, able to deflect it. Then the diving was on. It was crazy.
Right. I mean, a pack play, that's what we call it. That's what we try to do, get on the floor. If there's any loose ball, like we say, especially on our home court, it's a 70-30 ball. It's not a 50-50 ball. So we got to get on the floor first, and so that's just in the front of my mind, and that's what I got to do. So.
Then for Jordan to call the timeout there, that was pretty. I was panic-stricken. I had a different angle. Watching the sideline camera angle, not quite as dramatic as maybe I made it sound, but able to get that timeout call. Now, did he call a timeout or did you call it there? or
I mean,
both?
You gave Jordan the credit, so let's give Jordan the
Okay,
credit.
we'll say Jordan called,
yeah,
but you were
Jordan
right
called the
there.
timeout. It was a good call.
You were right there on top of it, and I thought one of the fun things after that game as well, Josh Koschke came across the court, and you guys had a little chest bump. Josh, shout out to you. I always told Josh when he came in, I go, he made it fashionable for CSU Pueblo to win conference titles again because he was one of the first. And when I started doing the games again, I go, well, you're making it sexy to win conference again.
Yeah, I mean, what a job he does with our golf program.
Yeah.
Like, they're in great hands with Coach KO, and I love that he loves basketball. Like, he's been one of our biggest supporters in house of basketball. He's at every game, brings his son, brings his wife, so we love having him around.
All right, let's move to the game on Saturday against Regis. Yep. Now, we knew going into this game you guys were going to be the predominant favorite. But even with that said, you got to come out and take care of business. And early on in that game, you did. You didn't give them any room.
Yeah, really proud of our guys' mentality. And, like I said, Jaden's the heart and soul of our team. I think our mentality starts with him. When he is locked in and has an unbelievable mentality, it rubs off on all the rest of the guys. And we had that to start the game. And, getting up big, you're starting to fight human nature. Right. And played great in the first half, came out a little sluggish after halftime. Fought through it, battled through it, and, came out with a big workmanship style win.
Well, Jaden, we made you before the game when Nick Strimmel and I were up to talk. Well, we got to come up with a player to watch in this game. And I said, you know what, this is a Kenneth kind of game because I felt like their wings didn't match you physically, either you or Terry. But I thought this was the game where we talked about those straight line drives and getting downhill. This was a perfect game for you to exploit that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we try to do is get downhill, get it to the basket, don't settle. I think there were some times where we did, but we ended up, kind of coming back around to it and stayed with the game plan. So.
Well, can you sense it as a ball club coming out in the second half? You've got a big lead. It's like you said, human nature. You're maybe relaxing a little bit. You don't mean to, but I think it was kind of a credit to Regis. They played hard in that second half and made you guys work for it. I think that in the end that works out good for you, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like he said, it's a maturity thing. You got to come out with the mindset to just try to put them away. So, like you said, we came out kind of sluggish, but we got right back on it. So.
Well, as the game wore on, it ended up being a 25-point game, but it really wasn't that kind of game, was it, or was it? How would you look at it when you kind of do your self-scout after the game? What were the things you want to pick on after that game, or celebrate?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I have to pick on is how we started after halftime. That's really the only thing I have.
Little relax factor.
Little relax factor. Other than that, I mean, there's not too many things I can be upset about as a coach. I think we had 24 assists, we had 10 turnovers. They shot 38%. We out-rebounded by 12. So it's like, other than that little sluggish start after halftime, it was, like I said, a really workmanlike effort and kind of about the business and getting it done.
Well, the other highlight of the weekend was all you guys taking turns setting up Kyron for the dunks. I mean, that's got to be fun. You get a little drive, bring the defense to you. Usually we tell you don't throw a bounce pass to a big guy, but you guys were getting it on the floor early enough to get where you could get it and do his damage.
Right. I think, all of our bigs, especially Kai, man, he's super athletic. He's really fun to play with on the court. He makes some crazy plays, especially in transition. Like, it's just a blast to play with him. So.
Then it's always a mystery what hairdo he's going to come out with.
Yeah.
What makes him decide which way to go with the hair?
You're talking to the roommate right there. I'm not sure.
Kyron's feeling, man.
Sometimes he lets it flow. Sometimes he's got it, the cornrows, braided.
I like the fro. I think that's.
Would you believe this? I used to be the white Billy Preston. He's too young to know Billy. You're too young too to know Billy Preston. Nothing from nothing. You can go on YouTube there, but the big fro. Can you believe that this?
Like some.
I had a big fro. It was crazy. Yeah, I'll show a picture sometime to Kyron. It's nuts. All right, let's move ahead. Looking forward to this weekend. Got those 2 wins at home, actually 3 at home when you go back to beating Colorado Christian. Yeah. Now you go back out on the road. But I think your ball club is built to be out on the road. You've got a couple of, got 1 loss out there on the road in conference play. Yeah. But I think your team is built for this because, as we talk about, defense tends to travel.
It does. And, I think our guys like playing on the road a little bit. They like
it's a little challenge, isn't it?
A challenge. They like the us against them mentality, us going into a different gym. And, we have a routine that we've kind of started since Cameron and Midwestern of what we do on the road. I think our guys enjoy that. And, it comes down to it's basketball, right? It's going to be hard. We said it after the game. It's the hardest thing to do in college basketball, but it's the best thing to do. And, they've got a taste of it. So it should be a fun weekend. We have our challenges because, Adams won 6 in a row at home. But,
Right.
We're ready for the challenge.
That is kind of a wild place to play. You've been there. You've been to Plaquemine Hall playing against Adams State. What are you looking for in this game?
I'm just looking forward to the challenge. I think, like he said, winning on the road is one of the hardest things to do, and so me and my teammates, we all accept that challenge, and we're ready to get to it. So.
Well, what does Adams State do that gives you a little bit of a headache, and what do they do that may think you might be able to exploit? We don't want to get into specifics, but is it going to be a racehorse game? Is it going to be a slow-down game, grind-it-out game? What's your thought going in?
They're fast. They can shoot the ball really well, and they get up a lot of threes. Also playing at Adams State a lot of times, they got a good crowd, so it's always fun. It's always a little competitive.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the key there is not let that student section get going because it's it's kind of a loud place when they get going.
Yeah, and they take the number one in the country in terms of 3-point field goals attempted in transition.
Wow.
So a big key for us is we got to sprint back in transition, and we can't give them threes. So we got to come out with 2 high hands, make them force tough contested twos, and then box out and rebound.
Well, we used to call that in the city play one.
Yeah.
Just come out, play one, and jack one up.
Yeah.
Now you guys can't do that. You guys are going to work. I think that's one thing about your offense. I think you guys don't settle for early shots. You always seem to be working. If one presents itself, you guys take it, but you're good at working the shot clock and not panicking, getting in there late and getting a good shot.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. We have a lot of great shooters out there, but, we try to pass up the good ones, try to get the great ones.
Well, in a way, that can frustrate your opponent. Do you sense that? You make them play defense for 25 seconds, and it's amazing what opens up in that final 5 seconds of the clock, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I know personally on defense, that's my least favorite thing, having to guard for a whole 30 seconds. So when we do it, I know it's tough on them. All
right, now we go to Highlands on Saturday. This is a ball club you already faced this year. That was kind of a back-and-forth game before you were able to control them late, but they've been getting better and better as the year goes on. I think they're finally starting to identity. Early on in the season, Zach, it was crazy looking at their stat sheet and their box score. They're playing like 18 guys in a game. It's like sooner or later we got to pick 8 or 10 and let's go, and I think that's what they've done.
Yeah, Coach September has done a great job of – it wasn't easy at the beginning of the year. I think they started 0-7 or 0-8, and that's not a fun place to be in, but he's stuck with it. He's found his, 9 guys now that he's rolling with, and they have a little bit of momentum about it. They have an identity now, kind of how they're playing, and, he does a great job coaching them. So it's going to be a challenge, especially down there. It wasn't easy here, and it's not going to be easy in Las Vegas.
Now, what were your thoughts playing them earlier this year, and what do you sense going into this weekend against Highlands?
They're a tough squad. They got a lot of athletes. They run in transition really well, so – nothing is going to be easy. It's an RMAC game, so we just got to be ready.
All right. ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse. You're here on occasion. What do you like to eat? What is your favorite item on the menu?
What I ordered tonight, the garlic parmesan chicken sandwich.
Oh, my God. That sounds good. I might have to just go with that. Garlic parmesan chicken. How about you, Zach? What do you like? You're a pizza guy.
I tried something out today. I'm doing the calzone tonight.
Ooh, okay.
I haven't had it, so I'll let you know.
I got a hint for you. Green chili burger.
Yeah, that's usually my go-to.
That is the best. Hey, good luck this weekend. Thanks for dropping by, will you?
Thanks, Jim.
All right, Zach Rubisam and Jaden Kennis, our guests here tonight on the Pack Basketball Show. Ty McDonough going to join me after this timeout. We'll take a look at the conference, look at the schedule coming up for this week, close things out right here from ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse.
At ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse, we're all about great food, cold beer, and unbeatable game day vibes. Located near CSU Pueblo, we're the go-to spot for students, locals, and sports fans looking for a place to kick back, enjoy delicious handcrafted pizzas, and catch the big game. Every dish is made with fresh ingredients and bold flavors, from our signature pizzas and juicy burgers to our wide selection of ice-cold beers on tap. Whether you're celebrating with friends, grabbing a bite after class, or fueling up before the game, it's where the action happens. Come for the food, stay for the atmosphere. ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse.
Hello, Thunderwolves fans. Jim Brooks here, your voice of the Thunderwolves, reminding you that tonight's edition of the Pack Basketball Show is brought to you by The Howler and the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle, courtesy of B-Fish Inc., also known as Tim Simmons, the resident historian of Pack Athletics. It is real simple. Visit bficcc.com to access the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle homepage. From there, click on the Click Here button to sign up for The Howler. Each week, you will receive in your email box a new edition with articles and links to keep you up to date on all things Pack Athletics. Join the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle and sign up for the Howler today.
And welcome back. ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse, packed basketball show. Joining me now, Ty McDonough, for our final segment of the show. Ty, it's always interesting to meet the players and get a behind-the-scenes look at the coaches and what they do for a living.
Yeah, I was going to say, and what great two personalities, able to bring Dasani and Jaden Kennis on. We know Tommy and Rubisam they're gonna bring the energy every night. But like you said, it's awesome to be able to see these players. See Jaden's walking out of there with his chicken sandwich right there. There we go. And
Jaden's one of my favorite projects for CSU Pueblo. I mean, last year I always felt like, man, the poor guy, he just seemed like he was the guy that was the target of a lot of ridicule.
Yeah.
And this year he's come out and he's really found his identity, knows what his strengths are, and knows what to do on the court. I think it's just maturity.
Well, he's just a high IQ basketball player, and he's the kind of guy, him and JB are really able to create their own shot. I mean, they're the two guys that going down late in the shot clock, if you need someone to go one-on-one, create a shot, you go to them. It wouldn't surprise me to see Jaden or JB playing at the next level. Those guys are that good. And like you said, I think last year probably got a little bit of unfair criticism. Team record-wise wasn't that good, and they're just looking for somebody to maybe blame a little bit. But, I mean, Jaden's a pro. I mean, he's a great guy. He's a really humble kid, and him and JB are going to do a lot of special things. Thing is, we still have him for another year.
That's right.
So I got Jordan for 2.
Yeah, their keys to their game, I think, have been the unselfishness. I mean, they're learning that it doesn't have to be about them scoring. It's making their teammates better, and I think that's the key to their game, especially Jaden this year.
I think it's plain as day. When these guys get scouted, they're going to know JB and Jaden are going to be the number one and 2 options. But you know what? If they get taken out of a game, those guys don't mind. Those guys are, all right, you know what? I'll get my 5 points. This might be Mac Terry's night. It might be Sam Howery's night. It might be Ty Adams' night. Those guys don't mind deferring when it's not their night. And that's like what you guys are talking about earlier. When you got your 2 best players on the offensive end that'll die for loose balls and everything, that just shows the testament of the kind of character those kids have.
Well, let's take a look at the RMAC standings coming into this week. Of course, a game tonight when we're recording this show, so we won't know exactly how that one turns out. But looking at the standings right now on the women's side, Mesa still looking like the top dog, the team to beat. They're undefeated, and I don't know if we want to give them the crown right now, but there's a lot of basketball to be played. But right now, they look pretty unstoppable.
They're pretty incredible. I think I saw the polls today. I think they're ranked 6th in the country on the women's side, and yeah, they're 8-0 and they're looking pretty stout. But man, I believe Highlands lost to them by 1 last week.
Yeah,
so
right down to the wire.
Right down to the wire. So I mean, anything could happen in this league. But yeah, like you said, I mean, it's their league to lose. 18-1 on the year. It's not just them dominating RMAC play, but they're 18-1 on the season.
Well, in Adams State, they have the 1 loss, but they get smashed by Mesa. And I think that 1-point loss or win over Highlands kind of woke them up, and then they took it out on Adams State.
Yeah, they said, "Here you go, Adams. We're not going to do that again.
Show you what we got." And on the men's side of the house, looking at the standings there, I thought we were going to have a 2-way tie for the top spot at the end of the night, but something happened in the final 5 minutes. Black Hills State, I don't want to say they gave one away. I think Fort Lewis kind of ripped that game away from them.
Oh, it's kind of like what happened with the women's team and with Mines. I felt like they were playing the second half, but they're in that fourth quarter. They just started throwing shots up, and they were going in, like you said. But Fort Lewis really battled to the end. I mean, and started hitting some wild shots, and eventually got a buzzer beater to. It's a hard place to play up there in Spearfish.
And with CSU Pueblo now sitting in a lofty territory, tied for second now on the men's side in conference play with this critical road trip coming up.
Very critical, but the nice thing with Black Hills falling a little bit, Thunderwolves, control their own destiny going forward. I mean, you get a chance to play Fort Lewis, you get a chance to play Black Hills, so maybe somebody will do us a favor and knock Fort Lewis off, give them a loss, but. I mean, the Thunderwolves are in great position. They really control their own destiny going forward.
Well, I'm looking at the schedule going into this week on the women's side. Of course, the CSU Pueblo Adams State game, that's probably the headliner game of the night. Black Hills State at Mesa on both the men and the women's side. Critical ball games.
Absolutely. I mean, Alamos is not an easy place to play. I mean, a little bit more elevation than it is here. It's a smaller gym, nice gym, but a smaller gym. If they get a lot of fans in there, it gets packed and crazy and get pretty loud in there.
And then on the both sides of the house, I think the key games on Saturday, besides the Thunderwolves and Highlands, I think it's going to be the focus is going to be on Durango, because UCCS on both the women and the men's side, they're going to give Fort Lewis a game. I think UCCS is due to have a good game. They might be the team to give Fort Lewis that battle, especially on the men's side.
Yeah, on the men's side especially. I mean, Durango is not an easy place to play any sport. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I mean, you think it's elevated in Alamosa. It's elevation there in Durango. I mean, that's not an easy place to play. What else there's? It's the only show in town, more than like, unless you're skiing. I don't know. He might be skiing, but yeah, I think on the women's side, I think Tommy Johnson's probably rooting for Fort Lewis, especially in that one, and maybe there on the men's side, maybe ECCS can do us a favor.
Yeah, we'll look forward to it. All right, that's going to do our show for tonight. Special thanks to everybody involved with the Pack Basketball Show, especially Tim Simmons and the Howler. You go to bficcc.com. That's the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle website. Little button up there, it says click here. Well, you click there, put your name and your email address. You get an edition of the Howler. That comes out every Sunday afternoon. Sometimes it comes out Monday morning, but most of the time Sunday afternoon. It has all links to all stories for the Thunderwolves. The main side, the Colorado Collegiate Chronicle, has articles and stories all about athletics in the state of Colorado, as the name would tell you. Now, for the basketball broadcast this week on the radio on Thursday night, we'll be in Alamosa, 5:15 pregame show, 5:30 on Fox Sports Pueblo. Saturday's games have been moved up. It's a noon and 2 o'clock start in Las Vegas, so we'll be on the air at 11:45 for the women. Noon tip-off for the women, 2 o'clock for the men from Las Vegas. We'll be back here again next Tuesday with another edition of the Pack Basketball Show. Special thanks to ThunderZone Pizza and TapHouse as well. Ben Greenberg, Sports Information Director. Paul Plinsky, the Athletic Director. Special thanks to you, Ty. My name is Jim Brooks. Thanks to our fans as well. Go Pack!